Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are looking at a stack of documents that honestly signals a massive shift in how the world handles chronic disease.
It really does.
We're analyzing the Q4 2025 earnings report and pipeline update from Eli Lilly. And look, usually when we talk about pharma earnings, it's, a lot of dry financial stuff, margins, tax rate.
Big wins, yeah.
But the news that just dropped today, and we're recording on February 5th, 2026, this is just different.
It is entirely different. We are not just looking at a company beating its quarterly estimates. We're looking at a company that is, it's rewriting the economic model of global health right in front of our eyes.
Right. And our mission today is to look past the headline numbers, which are huge, and we will get to them, to understand how they're pulling this off. We've got the earnings transcript, the press release, the slide decks.
A lot to get through.
And we need to unpack how they're scaling this fast and, more importantly, what the clinical data says about the next wave of these drugs. Because if you think the current injections are the final chapter, you are absolutely missing the bigger story.
Exactly. We have to talk about the oral revolution,
the
triple agonist, and a really fascinating shift in how they're looking at things like Alzheimer's and even cancer.
Okay, so let's start with the sheer size of this thing, just to set the stage. Q4 revenue hit $19.3 billion. That's up 43%.
In a single quarter. And for the full year, 2025, they landed at $65.2 billion.
And the profitability, the EPS, jumped 86%. So they're not just selling more stuff. They're getting way more efficient at it.
Incredibly efficient.
Now, here's where I want to pause. Because my cynical brain sees revenue jump 43%, and I immediately think, okay, they just jacked up the prices.
Which happens all the time in pharma, right?
All the time. But that's not what's happening here, is it?
No, and this is probably the single most important economic point in the whole report. If you look just at the U.S. market, their realized price, what they actually get paid per dose after all the discounts and rebates, it actually dropped by about 7%.
The price went down 7%?
Uh-huh.
But revenue went up 43%.
Because the volume exploded. It just exploded. They're selling 50% more units. This is a very deliberate strategy. It's access over exclusivity.
They want it in as many hands as possible.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the products driving that volume. Mounjaro and Zepbound. The twin engines.
They are the engines. Mounjaro, for type 2 diabetes, pulled in $7.4 billion in 3 months.
That's more than double last year. And Zepbound,
The obesity formulation hit $4.26 billion.
And the market share numbers in the slides. Zepbound is grabbing nearly 70% of all new prescriptions in the branded obesity market.
And 7 out of 10 new patients. It's a near monopoly.
But the most interesting part of the Zepbound story for me isn't the injector pens anymore. It's the vials.
Ah, the self-pay vials. Right.
I remember when they launched this, it felt like a sort of niche thing. But the report says they now make up a third of all new patient starts.
It's incredibly high. But think about why. They priced those vials at $299 for the starter doses. It's a way to bypass insurance completely.
So it kills the prior authorization headache.
It completely removes that friction. If your insurance says no or makes you jump through hoops, you can just pay the $299. It democratizes the drug in a way.
$299 isn't nothing.
Oh, absolutely not. But it puts it in the same ballpark as, a high-end gym membership or a car payment. It moves it from unobtainable medical thing to consumer good.
And clearly the market was waiting for that. Still, there's the other barrier, the needle. My dad is one of them. He just will not do it. Which brings us to the pipeline and the oral pill, orforglipron.
This is the next big thing, an oral non-peptide GLP-1.
So where is it? We've been hearing about the pill for ages.
It's on the doorstep. They've submitted it for approval in the U.S., Japan, and Europe. They're guiding for a launch in Q2 of 2026.
So just a few months away.
Yep.
Okay, but here's the pushback I always see online. The pills aren't as good. Or, if I switch from the shot to the pill, am I just going to gain all the rate back?
They addressed that head on. They released data from the Maintain trial, which was designed to answer that exact anxiety.
Yeah.
They took people who had already lost weight on injectables.
On Wegovy or Zepbound?
Exactly. And they switched them to the daily orforglipron pill.
The big question, can the pill hold the line?
It depends what you were on before.
Yeah.
If you switched from semaglutide, so Wegovy, there was basically no difference. You kept the weight off perfectly.
Okay, that is huge for anyone on Wegovy right now.
It is. Now, if you switch from tirzepatide Zepbound, which is the stronger dual agonist drug, there was a slight regain, about 5 kilograms or, 11 pounds?
Which makes sense, right? You're going from a stronger drug to a slightly less potent one.
Correct. But the key is, you didn't rebound to your starting weight. You kept off the vast majority of the loss. It validates the pill as a real maintenance strategy.
So you could use the shot to do the heavy lifting, get to your goal, then switch to a simple daily pill to stay there.
That's the idea. And it changes everything. No more cold chain storage, no needles, no sharps disposal, and it's titration free.
Explain what that means for people who aren't pharmacists.
With the shots, you have to start at a tiny dose, wait a month, go up, wait another month. It takes ages to get to the full dose, otherwise you get really sick.
Right.
With orforglipron, it's a much simpler dosing. No long ramp up. And you don't have to worry about taking it on an empty stomach or anything, you just take the pill.
So we have the current drugs, we have the pill coming in a few months, but then there's the heavy artillery. Let's talk about retatrutide.
The triple G?
GIP, GLP-1, and glucagon. 3 hormones at once. I think we all get GLP-1 by now. It quiets the food noise. What does adding glucagon do?
So GLP-1 and GIP are mostly about satiety feeling full. They manage what's coming in. Glucagon is different. It actually increases your energy expenditure. It revs up the metabolism to burn fat.
So you're hitting the problem from both sides. Less fuel in, more fuel burned.
Precisely. And the results, in the TRIUMPH-4 study, the top dose, patients lost an average of 29% of their body weight.
29%. That's basically bariatric surgery territory.
It rivals surgery. But what really jumped out at me in this report wasn't just the weight loss number, it was the other data on osteoarthritis, knee pain.
I highlighted this too, because at that level of weight loss, it's not just about clothes fitting better, you're changing the entire mechanical load on your body.
Exactly. They saw a 76% reduction in pain scores. But get this, 1 in 8 patients were completely pain-free by the end of the trial.
Wow. From chronic pain to zero pain, that functionally cures that symptom.
It really shifts the whole narrative from, looking good to just being able to move. Vitality. But I should add a note of caution here. The discontinuation rates were higher for people with lower starting BMIs.
Why would they quit?
The drug is almost too strong for them. If you only have, say, 30 or 30 pounds to lose, losing 29% of your body weight can make you feel weak, gaunt.
Okay, so this is for severe cases.
Exactly. For patients with a BMI over 35, the safety and adherence look normal. This is the specialist tool, not for everyone.
Okay, so that's the weight loss pipeline, which is huge. But something else in the report really surprised me. The way their other divisions, like immunology and oncology, are starting to collide with this world.
You're talking about the psoriatic arthritis study.
Yeah, the mashup, as they call it. They combine Taltz, their arthritis drug, with Zepbound. What was the thinking there?
Well, we know the fat tissue is inflammatory. So the hypothesis was, if we reduce the systemic inflammation by treating the obesity, does the arthritis drug work better?
And Judd.
It did. A 64% relative increase in patients achieving symptom reduction. It was significant.
That is a profound insight. It proves that treating metabolic health directly helps an immune disease.
It's all connected. If you fix the weight and the blood sugar, other systems in the body just start working better. We're seeing a similar story with Alzheimer's.
Kisunla, right. This one launched so quietly compared to the others.
It did, but it's now the U.S. market leader for amyloid-targeting drugs with over 50% share. The exciting part, though, is the Trailblazer ALZ-3 study. They're trying to treat patients before symptoms show up.
Using blood tests to find them early.
Yes. If you can clear the plaque before the memory loss starts, you're moving from treatment into true prevention.
And we can't skip oncology. Jaypirca, there was a stat here, 80% reduction in risk of progression or death for a type of leukemia.
For chronic lymphocytic leukemia, CLL. And what makes Jaypirca special is that it's a non-covalent inhibitor.
Okay, you're going to have to explain non-covalent to me like I'm 5.
Okay, think of a normal drug in this class as a key that goes into a lock on the cancer cell and snaps off. It blocks it permanently.
Which is good.
It's great.
Yeah.
Until the cancer mutates and changes the shape of the lock so the key doesn't fit anymore. Then the drug stops working. Jaypirca is like a key that goes in, blocks the lock, but doesn't snap off. It binds reversibly.
Yeah.
So even if the cancer mutates to resist those other permanent drugs, Jaypirca can often still work. It's a fantastic second line of defense.
It gives doctors another tool when the first one fails.
Exactly. It extends the runway for patients.
Okay, so we've got the science, we've got the drugs, but none of it matters if people can't get them. The shortages have been a huge story. Is Lilly actually fixing the supply chain?
That is the $55 billion question. And that's how much capital they've committed since 2020 to building new factories. Massive sites in Wisconsin, North Carolina, more coming online in Europe.
And they're hitting their targets.
They beat them. The report confirmed they produced way more doses in late 2025 than they even planned to.
And they're going to need every single vial because of the government deal that kicks in this July.
This is the thing that opens the floodgates. Starting July 1st, 2026, Medicare and Medicaid patients can get these obesity drugs for $50 a month, out of pocket.
$50. Not $300, not $1,000. $50.
And that ties back to the numbers we started with. The price per script will go down, which might slow the rate of revenue growth.
Yep.
But the sheer volume of new patients. We're talking millions of seniors and lower-income people who were completely locked out before.
It's the final piece of that access over exclusivity strategy.
It is. And to manage it all, they're building out Lilly Direct, their digital platform. It's already got over 1 million patients.
It's fascinating because it bypasses the whole messy pharmacy system.
They're vertically integrating. They're not just the manufacturer anymore. They're the telehealth provider and the pharmacy. They control the whole experience so a patient doesn't give up because of a long line at the drugstore.
So before we wrap up, what's next? After the pill, after the triple G, anything else in the pipeline that caught your eye?
Eloralintide.
Say that again?
Eloralintide. It's a selective amylin agonist.
Yeah. So another new mechanism. Why do we need that one?
Because of nausea. The biggest side effect, the main reason people quit Zepbound or Mounjaro, is they feel sick. Amylin works differently. It gives you pretty solid weight loss, around 20%, but with much better tolerability.
So if Zepbound is too rough on your stomach, this is the gentler option.
That's the idea. It keeps people in the ecosystem. And on the discovery side, they're going all in on AI. They just announced a lab with NVIDIA.
Using supercomputers to find the next Mounjaro.
Exactly. Trying to cut years off the discovery timeline.
So let's bring it all home. The guidance for 2026, what's the target?
They're guiding for revenue between $80 and $83 billion.
$83 billion.
That is another 25% growth on top of the monster year they just had. It's a juggernaut.
It really feels like a shift from a phase of scarcity, can't make it fast enough, to a phase of scale. This just becomes part of our public health infrastructure.
That is the theme. But I think there's a deeper philosophical shift happening here, too.
How so?
Think about all that convergence we talked about. A weight loss drug treats sleep apnea. It fixes knee pain. It helps liver disease. It boosts arthritis meds.
Right, the weight was the first domino.
So the provocative thought I'm left with is this. We spent 50 years treating symptoms. You get a pill for your knee, a pill for your blood pressure, a machine for your sleep. Are we moving to a future where we just stop chasing symptoms and we treat the metabolic engine instead?
If the engine is running clean, the symptoms just disappear.
Exactly. If metabolic dysfunction is the root cause of all these other things, then Lilly isn't just selling a diet drug. They're selling a general preventative for most of the chronic diseases of the modern world. And if that's true, $83 billion is just the beginning.
That is a massive idea to chew on. Treating the engine, not the smoke. We will be watching that oral pill launch in Q2 very, very closely.
It's going to be a fascinating year.
Thanks for walking us through all this, and thank you for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.